from the School of Ancient. I'm Ramesh from the School of Ancient Wisdom. I'll be a host for today. So before we start off, I request Swati to say the school prayer.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Swati, you're audible. You're audible, Swati.
O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. So a very warm welcome to everybody here today for our Spiral of Wisdom Satsangs that we do every Thursday, started by Ma Manize many years back. And as you've heard the school prayer, it really connects all of us as that little spot of light, that consciousness that we are, the spiritual beings, as seekers that we come together. So today we have Dr. Kumar, who is the doctor at the School of Ancient Wisdom. He's our Ayurvedic doctor. And he'll be presenting today's satsang, which is the fundamentals of Ayurveda. So to introduce Dr. Kumar, he's a scientist in the University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology. He has worked in the area of experimental research of Ayurvedic medicines, such as vivo and in vitro for drug standardization. He also worked as a technical advisor for pharma industry for the development of formulation for clinical application. He has 18 years of research and clinical experience and 13 years of experience as an assistant professor for undergraduates and postgraduates of Ayurveda. He is also involved in development of the curricula for postgraduate diploma in ethno-veterinary practices and a certificate program in ethno-veterinary practices along with the Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Sciences University. So, very warm welcome to Dr. Kumar, and we're definitely looking forward to hearing his wisdom today. Over to you, Dr.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining this evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just to correct in my profile, Ramesh ji was mentioning that I'm the scientist at Transdisciplinary. That is my position. Currently, I'm the medical director at School of Ancient Wisdom since 3 months. I've taken in charge and to expand Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy Hospital as well as the Wellness Center at the campus, and also start the activities on Pashu Ayurveda and Ruksha Ayurveda there in our School of Ancient Wisdom. So yeah, so basically, how do we connect this concept of principles or fundamentals of Ayurveda in Satsang? Yes, it is very much well connected to say, because our health is at most important to carry out or think on anything what we need to have on day-to-day business. So in this context, at this moment, I would like to present you all the satsangis in the group on principles of Ayurveda for health and wellness. That is my interest. Swati, can make it full screen.
Sure, sir. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I request all to stay muted. Thank you.
Yes. For today's presentation, I would like to take you all. There are different streams of Ayurveda. Before I come into health and wellness, I just want to brief you all, because many of may be knowing, may not be knowing. So to say, Ayurveda has 3 streams actually. So Ayurveda for human health, Ayurveda for animal health, and Ayurveda for plant health, which we call it as Ayurveda, Ruksha Ayurveda, and Mruga Ayurveda. So it is all interconnected. That reason is because we are completely depending on animal and plant products for our survival. if we have to be healthy, or if you are call yourself as healthy, then you need to have a proper or a good, you know, products to have every day to keep our health in a good status. So in this context, now the trend in the health sector, including WHO, is talking much on one health, but it is long back to say 4,000 years back itself. Ayurveda has mentioned there is a interconnected between human health and, you know, animal health as well as plant health. So to take you all on the round of understanding that how Ayurveda can help, it is as a total package, it is giving everything to the human being in such a way that you can be a part of health community, or you can be a part of ill health community. So next slide, Swati. So what is the definition and description of Ayurveda to understand? Actually, you know, many of you may be knowing Ayurveda as a herbal science. Actually, it is not a herbal science. It is beyond herbs to say, because Ayurveda is literally to say the science of life. Whatever we have a day-to-day activities, everything is covered under the umbrella of Ayurveda. So the way of living with awareness and promoting the longevity can be called as Ayurveda, as been defined or described in the literatures. Then how do we how do we understand Ayurveda as a total package? Hita hayita, hitaitam sukham dukkam astascha hitaitam manam cha tacha yatroktam Ayurveda sauchate. That means weighing between hita and ahita, weighing between sukha and dukkha, and understanding these principles and practice, balancing and going with itself is Ayurveda. That means substances, the qualities, the actions, you know, life enhancing and which is not enhancing, understanding is Ayurveda. It is not just herbal science, it is beyond herbal science. Next slide. So, what aims at Ayurveda are by Ayurveda? See, typically we all looking for what? You know, why we need health. All those things we'll discuss later. But prior to that, what are the aims of Ayurveda? Swastasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya vikara prashamanam. That is in the Charaka, you know, the four founder of Ayurveda or four father of Ayurveda talks in his first chapter and stating the sloka swastasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya vikara prashamnam. What does that mean? It literally talks about the first line on reducing the disease of, you know, the ailing, the preserving the health of the healthy individual. That means first we need to preserve our health, being a healthy individual. That is swastasya swasthya rakshanam. Then alleviating, and if you have become sick, even though if you are preserving, then what are the measures to be taken is explained by Ayurveda. That is being considered as goal or aim of Ayurveda. It literally talks about the principles of prevention and prophylactic measures, and also therapeutic understanding of each and everything, how we can address the disease, being explained in detail in Ayurveda. So the aim and goal of Ayurveda is swastasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya vikara prashamanam. Next slide. So what is the definition of health by WHO? How we can interrelate between the definitions of Ayurveda and WHO's definition? If you look into it, and WHO's definition is not being, like, you know, to call it as not less than 100 years to say, whereas Ayurveda's definition is more than 4,000 years. So the difference or the similarities to say, WHO talks on health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. That is the definition. And also, you know, it is being revised every now and then by WHO. It is not the one which has been mentioned the when WHO has been formed. Whereas Ayurveda definition of health, samadosha samagnischa samadatu malakriya prasanna atma indriya manaswastya iti vidiyate. By Shushruta's reference of stating, what does this mean? Samadosha, the balanced state of doshas, balanced state of dhatu, balanced state of agni, the kindle, the fire inside the body, and the excretory process in it a well balanced way, and keeping your mind, soul happily, then it is called as health, which is literally been translated by WHO and stating in its own way what they call health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not just merely the absence of disease. So Ayurveda talks beyond that to say it has to be well balanced within the individual, not just seeing the masteral checkup and state that you are healthy. It is beyond that. If your atma is not contented enough to feel happiness, or your mind is not happiness, then we cannot call it as you are healthy individual. So it is not just the physical entity, it is beyond the physical and also been added as a spiritual, and mindfulness and being healthy in the state of mind is considered as a state of health by Ayurveda. The next slide. Yeah, please go ahead. I have explained all those things. So to coming back, why we need health? Everybody is, working hard, day to day. You can see starting from 4:30 a.m., getting up and going for a walk, jog, playing, and coming back, doing all sort of physical, mental exercises. Why we need? Ayurveda literally explains why we need health. Dharmartha kama mokshanam arogyam moolam uttamam. If you want to attain the four principles like dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, you need to be healthy. For that, you need to work hard or you need to adopt our principles of Ayurveda. That is the next line shloka explains. That means dharmartha kama mokshanam arogya moolam uttamam tadachicha arogyacha ayurveda sa uchyate. That means if you want to be arogya, then you need to have Ayurveda. If you want to attain dharma, artha, kama, moksha, you need to have arogya. So what is dharma? The duty. What is artha? The wealth. What is kama? The desire of an individual. What you want to become, what you want to achieve, what you want to attain. Everything comes under desire. Then moksha, the ultimate, the bliss, the happiness is the moksha. So if you want to attain all these four, you need to have a health. To have a health, you need to follow the principles of Ayurveda. Then you can achieve all your desires. That is what Ayurveda talks about why we need health. Next slide. So when you understand total together to say how can be balanced, how you can attain, when you have a well physical status or functioning status of three doshas, physiological parameters, then when you have a good metabolism and digestion at your physical entity, then the tissues, all the seven tissues functioning well in a day-to-day manner, then excretions having a proper, then sense indriya, that is sense organs are at most functioning, then mind, manas at the bliss and the soul at the bliss can, have a status of swasthya or health, implies the balance between all these entities together at a time. Then we cannot call, we call it as a health status. If it is being disturbed at any moment, at any time, at any place, then it can be called as ill health or aswasthya. So overall, it is not just meager of understanding the systematic or a systemic. It is beyond that. The soul, the body, within the body, the soul, and the mind, when it functioning in its a normal way, then we call it as the status of health. Next slide. Swati, next line. Yeah. So what are the pillars of health and wellness? Everybody is aware. Everybody is aware how and why. Sorry, everybody is aware why they need a health, and they are taking ample of measures to combat the disease and to be healthy. But none of them are aware that these are the four pillars for their health and wellness. What is those four pillars? Ahara, food, what we eat. Many people talk about sattvic ahar, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, what suits you, what suits to other person, how it helps, everything. But none of them are been very personalized of understanding the principles of ahara explained in Ayurveda. That is the first and foremost, the pillar of health and wellness. What we eat every day makes your body and mind for its normal and the status of healthy being. Then next is the vihara, lifestyle, the place where we are living, how we are living, what we do every day, how is our physical activities being carried out, how is our day-to-day movements being measured. That comes under vihara, and which is the place we are living. what is the impact that is going to create for our body and mind. Talks about vihara, the lifestyle, then the vichara, the mental thoughts on every moment and every minute, how we take it and how we work. So why we need under the satsang the manas, the the whole controlling capacity is through manas, the mind, the the culprit of all illness or the culprit of our health status, the manas, the vichara, what we think and what we act is vichara. Then vyavahara, the correspondence within ourselves, within social, within professional, within personal, everything come under vyavahara. These four pillars, ahara, vihara, vichara and vyavahara, will make you to understand yourself in a better position than a physician. Then how you're going to bring changes upon, how you're going to follow, then it will help you to become a healthy person or healthy person. Next slide. So, ahara, the first one, I just going to brief you that how ahara can be one of the major pillar to have a health. So, shadrasa pradhanata ahara, that means whatever we eat is made out of 6 taste. Let the food be the medicine and the medicine be the food, the Hippocrates. Whatever we eat as a ahara can be the medicine, and whatever the medicine you are planning to take can be the food. So that lot of lot of changes can be prevented at the early part, or lot of disease can be prevented, and lot of unnecessary pressure can be limited on the body and mind. What are those shadrasas? Madhuramla lavanam katutikta kashayakam. That means every food or all the food is made out of these 6 tastes. What are those? The sweet, the madhura, amla, the sour, lavana, the salt, and tikta, bitter, katu, pungent, and kashaya, astringent. See, these are the 6 rasas which are responsible for maintaining the physiological taste, physiological status, or converting the physiological status into pathological. That means the first 3, Madhuramla Lavana, are the bodybuilders, which can increase the corpulence of the body, whereas Tikta Katu Kashaya, that is bitter, pungent, and astringent, can be, opposite to the corpulence, to say, which can take away the nutrition from the body. When you have balanced between the first 3 and the second 3, then it will have the complete package for your day-to-day physiological status. If you are not being balanced with your food, then the problem will start for the body and mind. That means in a day-to-day practices, every day we need to eat all the taste of the food which are made out of. Otherwise, somebody or someone will have an always have a passion to eat, or have a craving to eat only the salt, only the sour, only the pungent, then that leads to imbalance between the doshas, the dhatus, and the malas, and they will be ending with diseases. So to have a healthy status, your food should be well balanced with all the taste, not just the nutritional balance, beyond the nutritional balance. Even though if you are giving enough nutrition, people are
There is some
falling
audio
or sick.
disturbance.
Why? Because they are not able to understand forms when it is being digested and metabolized. So this concept has not been explained in the modern theories, whereas with shadrasas. So again, am I audible?
Yes, now you are, but it's kind of breaking up slightly.
Okay. Well,
Earlier it was breaking, but now it's audible.
Okay. So again, it is mentioned that to start with Madhura Rasa, the food every day what we eat has to start with the sweet and end with the sweet to have the balance in our physiological status. So keep an habit of having
Not audible at all.
Not visible, not audible.
Yes, true.
Now,
Yeah, now we can hear you. Can't see you.
Swati, next slide. So how, ahara can be a causation for disease? When we understand ahara sambhava vastu rogascha ahara sambhava itaha visheshascha vishesha sukha dukkhayo. That is a shloka in Charaka. Literally talks about how ahara can be a culprit for your diseases. That means approaches to identify influence of food and nutrition. What we eat makes our body and mind. So ahara is the important pillar for all of us to have better health and wellness, even because it also influence on the gunas of manas, which is sattvic guna, rajasic guna and tamasic guna, which can influence our mind and for our actions. So grow local, eat local. Whatever we are growing at our local places, whatever the local food we have to eat. Yasya deshasya yo jatu tajja Tajaushadam itam. That is the shloka explained in Bhavaprakash 2. Whatever we grow, we have to eat. Whatever we eat, we have to grow. If it is not growing here, please don't eat. If it is not, if you are eating which is not being grown here, that will not help you to nourish your body. So very important. Grow local, eat local. For example, some of the food or some of the vegetables have been imported. That is not all going to nourish our body. Rather, whatever we are growing, we have to eat. Next slide. Swati? Yeah. So to start with, how disease is going to manifest in your body by the or from the principles of Ayurveda, Roga sarve api mandagna sutara mudarani cha. That means all the disease starts from our tummy or the stomach. When we are not well balanced with our stomach, when we are not eating proper food, when we are not digesting the food, there the problem will start. That means aberrant metabolism, Agni Vaishamya. So whatever you eat, you have to get digested. Whatever you get digested should be eaten. That means our stomach is the place to start the disease. Aberrant metabolism. When your metabolism is disturbed, then ama is going to produce in your body, that is a toxic or a pro-inflammatory waste products. When it is exceeding the capacity in our body, then it blocks the microchannels, that is srotas. When it started blocking, then it leads to disease manifestation. To understand, when your stomach is in a good status, you are in a healthy status. If your stomach is disturbed, then you're going to end up with a disease. That is a principle explained, and that is a root cause for all the diseases. Next slide. So when we understand the Ayurveda theory of pathogenesis, we have 6 stages of the disease, starting from Sanchaya, Prakopa, Prasara, Sthana, Samshraya, Vekta and Veda. That is, when ama, toxic materials is producing in the body, it will start accumulating. When it is started accumulating, then next stage it will start aggravating. When it started aggravating, it will start spreading across the systems. Then it will start localization in either of the system. Then it will start expressing its interest on the system. Then it leads to exacerbate and the disease manifestation. We call it as Shat Kriya Kala of understanding disease pathogenesis in Ayurveda. Until third phase, third stage, that is the spread stage, we can reverse the disease. When it's enter into the fourth stage of localization and expression and exacerbation, we cannot reverse the disease, just we can manage the disease. That means many of our diseases like diabetes, hypertension, thyroid, obesity, and chronic kidney disease, chronic hepatic disorder have crossed the fourth stage. It will be very hard for reverse. Rather to just we have to go with the management. So if we understand the 6 stages of the disease, it will be very difficult for a physician to treat a disease or manage the disease. Next slide. So as I mentioned, pro-inflammatory identification is going very fast in modern medicine now, understanding pro-inflammatories. For example, C-reactive protein. Now they are identifying C-reactive protein or estimating in every disease. That means inflammatory molecules or pro-inflammatory molecules are the culprit for the diseases. That is been told long back in Ayurveda. Shofa, the inflammation, is the culprit for all the diseases. It can be from the infection, it can be from the toxin, it can be from the excess nutrition or below nutrition, it can be from the lifestyle, or it can be from the tissue damage, or it can be psychological. When you have been stressed, your body going to inflame, the cell is going to inflame. That can lead to a disease, or it can be a trauma accident, or it can be iatrogenic by treatment principles. Any cause can lead to inflammation. The inflammation can be the culprit for many diseases in the body. Unless you are not protecting your body from the inflammation, you cannot be free from the disease. So eat enough vegetables and fruits, take enough fibers, drink enough water, have enough physical activity, calm down your mental stress, relax yourself, go as per the day, close your day as early as possible, wake up early. That is the only way to protect yourself from the diseases. Otherwise you will end up with the disease. That has been told long back in Ayurveda. The inflammatory, pro-inflammatory, the shofa is the culprit for all the diseases. Next slide. So advantage of Ayurveda. What is that Ayurveda can talk much beyond modern medicine? A functional framework that can, accommodate any medical condition. It is literally explained in one-to-one or base to say for all the diseases. A practical inventory of physical universe and their effect on the living system. It's been told in Ayurveda. When understood, makes everything around us a potential medicine. That means Sarva Dravyam Anaushadam. That means whatever existing next to you can be a medicine until unless if you know how to use, when to use, that itself a universal cause for all of us. Next slide. Swati? Yeah. So over the advantages, what is this? It talks about the holistic therapeutics. That means it is not just talking one cell, one treatment, one drug. When we give medicine to an individual, it has to address all the systems in the body, rather creating one more disease when we treat with one drug. Focus is on host factor rather than the disease. We never treat a disease. Rather, we treat a patient to combat by himself how he can address the disease. Then whole system rather than the target. We never target tissues or the system, rather we target the whole person. Then multi-drug therapy, we are not going to give one single herb or a single compound or a single molecule, rather we make the combination of the herbs which indirectly help the immune status, also treat the disease. And prevention and promotion in addition to curative is our approaches from Ayurveda, rather treating a disease. Next slide. So inherent strength of Ayurveda, how it can address the current, issues in the public health. Customized intervention, Prakriti. We talk about the Prakriti of the individual. That is the biological constitution of every individual. We all look similar as a human being, but we are not similar. We need to understand we are all dissimilar by our own functions and capabilities of physiological status. So we understand every individual by analyzing the Prakriti of the individual. By understanding the Prakriti, we can have a individualized or customized intervention packages for every individual. And multi-component intervention. We are not just giving the drug to treat the disease. Rather, we give drug along with the diet, lifestyle modification, detoxification program, adding yoga and other which can addresses our mental status to bring down. So it is a whole package, not as a single entity. Then a systemic cleansing of body, Shodhana Chikitsa, once in a while, to say at least once in a year, very important for every individual, so that they can maintain their health and they can cleanse their body. By doing that, your channels will be cleansed, and accumulation of the toxins will be reduced, so that the becoming a sick or becoming a or crossing the border of healthy zone to unhealthy or a sick zone will be prevented. Then once we start treating the diseases based on the principles and following the Shodhana Chikitsa, it will not recur again. Non-recurring, that is apunarbhavatva. That means the disease will not come back, rather we completely cure the disease. Then achieving the homeostasis, that means yonyam anum yonyam anyam udireyat. That means the disease will not treatment of one disease will not lead to the other disease. That means the drug, whatever the medicines we are using, it will not lead to side effects for individual. These are the some of the inherent strength of Ayurveda for health and wellness. Next slide. So, what are the principles for a healthy life? How do we address? How can an individual can become healthy? Dinacharya, daily regimen, it is told, it is mentioned in literatures or practice of Ayurveda. That means the time you wake up from the bed 4:30 till the time you go back to your bed 9 p.m. all the the time hours as explained how you have to have your day. Then Rutucharya, seasonal regime. Whatever we eat in the summer may not suit. Detailed explanation as given, and the diet, lifestyle modification, everything based on the season. Then Panchakarma, 5 purificatory procedures to be adapted on day-to-day practices to have detoxification or cleansing our body. Then Rasayana, once we do cleansing, we need to have a rejuvenation for our cell and body and mind. So there are principles or there are practices explained for rejuvenation packages. Then Achara Rasayana, Sadrutta, what we call it as a Satsang, almost similar. Sadrutta, as explained in Ayurveda, the behavioral therapeutics, how you're going to interact, how you're going to behave with the society or the individual will make you happy and healthy. Sadrutta. Okay, then Ashtangas of yoga as part of our day-to-day practices, that is 8 steps of yoga, is very important for us to keep ourselves healthy and well. So these are the Ayurveda principles for healthy life. So if you start practicing all these together, then you can feel the happiness and the healthy part of it to carry out your longevity. Next slide. So variables in Ayurveda disease management, it is not one-to-one, not just treating the disease. It is approaching complete package for individual to reverse the disease and to maintain his health. For example, when you look into the left side, the disease and the patient, and the treatment will be diet, lifestyle, medicines, therapies, counseling, others, and at last, what we're going to get out of it? No symptoms, disease has been managed, homeostasis, balance of your body, tissues functioning under systems, and good quality of life for yourself to have better performance and tranquil mind and well-being by yourself. When you start feeling that it is a complete approach given by the with the help of Ayurveda for your health and wellness, not just giving one tablet or one medicine for to treat the disease. Next slide. Yeah. So this is what I thought I'll present for all the satsangs here, this evening, because many of you might be knowing Ayurveda, but it's my interest to say that how and the principles of Ayurveda can help for an individual to have health and wellness. Yeah, open to discussion.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. If anybody has any questions or if anybody has anything to share, please do speak up. We have a short Q&A today because we'll be closing earlier, as I mentioned earlier in the session, by about 7:15 to 7:20. So if you have any questions, please do.
Dr. Kumar, I'm Jagdish. I've today joined this group and hope to continue. The information given is very useful to a layman like me, who is not in the field of medicine, but I could understand a few things which I should follow in my life. And thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jagdish. Well, since no one has yet spoken up, there's an observation that I would like to make, Kumarji, that what's striking about Ayurveda is, its definition of what is health. Because normally, if you look at allopathy, it's the absence of disease that we call, the person doesn't have a disease. Then we say, yes, he's in good health. But in Ayurveda, it says, it talks about the well-being of not just the mind, not just the body, but the mind as well. And it even measures that. And it's a complete state It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And maybe I can add spiritual also. It's not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So that takes it to a different paradigm. It reminds us that we are human beings, not just our body. That really kind of, to me, connects Ayurveda with the spiritual principles. That was quite striking when you shared that.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, this is Malti Jankiram speaking. I wanted to just tell you that your talk was very illustrative and it was really interesting because we learned that the importance of the kind of food, and these are things that which nowadays nobody seems to be paying much attention to. So it's nice to be educated in those kind of subjects and the fields. And I wanted to thank you for illuminating us all with these very good points, because I really didn't really know that food is divided into so many aspects. I know some is sweet and some is sour, some are bitter, like that, but I didn't remember, or I was not aware of the fact that it was first you have the sweet, and then each one has its own place in our diet. And it's important nowadays, especially when everyone seems to be going in for junk food, to know these things, because fresh food is definitely something that is good for one's health. So thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for joining
Yeah.
this evening.
Thank you.
In continuation to Maltiji's comments, it also, I have a question and an observation, Dr. G, that of course, I mean, I've heard about it in our Bharatiya context of food, that we should eat all the 6 tastes: Madhura, Amla, the sweet, sour, salt, bitter, pungent, and astringent. Now, I always used to have a question on, and of course, I mean, nowadays we can get these kind of flavors even in junk food, sometimes overstimulated. So I suppose the caveat here is that it has to be unprocessed natural food, that where we get these tastes from, that goes without saying. But the question here, and I always had I was always a little perplexed on how do you manage to balance, because when we talk about nutrition in the modern sense, we talk about carbohydrates, fats, proteins. No mention is made on taste. Now, if we get these required, tastes in our diet daily, would it automatically mean that we get the right balance of carbs, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, etc.? And how best to manage that awareness and this Ayurvedic awareness of tastes for a balanced diet?
Yes, sir, you are absolutely right. And we need to understand more on the nutritional values. Along with that, what is the Shadrasa's value, incorporating together and to apply. And a lot of work is being carrying out by Ministry of Ayush also on to that, like having all Indian cuisines or Indian food practices bringing together, and to know that what are the nutritional values based on the principles of Ayurveda. If it is belonging to the Madhura, what is the nutritional value? And we have categorically put placed in the order of saying, like, all the carbohydrates become Madhura rasa, and some of the protein based materials can be our tikta rasa, because the bitter principles are more in proteins. And then all astringents are tannins which the food producing tannins materials placed in astringents. And all volatile and oleo resins are part of our pungent, that's spicy.
I see.
So
Very
you
interesting.
understand. So
Being
phyto understanding or chemical understanding of the food material and correlating to the nutritional values are going on par with the research protocols. So once we come up with some of the studies, then it will be easy for us to say that how it is being interpreted in the modern values of nutrition.
As you spoke, I got a idea, a quick thought, that See, we talk about being a Mannina Maga, the son of the soil. And it's oftentimes we are here in satsangs that one must connect to our Prakriti local. And how we do it is to connect through local, because the local vibrations, energize the soil in a certain manner. And if we eat the produce of that local soil, we get the maximum connection with Mother Earth. Because, from a subtle body level also, we are interacting with the Bhumi Devi here. Now, is there any chart? Maybe we should prepare all over India a chart where we have what kind of foods are most useful locally. And there is also one more element that I've heard of genetics. Like, for example, if you're a North Indian, if you're a Punjabi, for example, and your great grandfathers had mainly wheat-based or paratha, that kind of food. If you suddenly locate to South India, it doesn't mean that you can automatically consume only the local produce. You have to kind of mix it with food that your grandparents had, because genetically that's how your body is built. Like, for example, on the eastern quadrant, South and East India, people are less lactose tolerant apparently compared to the north and western side of Bharat, where they're more lactose tolerant, for example. So how does it add up? How do you mix this? Do we have, and can we prepare such kind of charts for best food to eat? And also what order of food we should eat regularly?
Yeah, it's very challenging for us to address your question, because the reason is because when Ayurveda talks about the food preparations are almost like traditional food practices. You understand? The
Yes.
current food practices are totally, it's like a, totally it is a different way we are preparing the food. So how we understand those is the material used for the preparations can give a value for us to take the, Ayurveda principles. Then we can address that the processing may change the value of the food or the nutrition of the food, and it can bring change upon on the body and mind. That is how we are working. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Every day we will get the new food material, but the source of the food material remains the same. For example, if it is bread, what is bread is made out of wheat. When you go to the European continent to address the health issues of the patients of the Europe, we talk based on that. The bread is made out of wheat. What is the principles of the wheat for health and wellness? How we can take, if the is it remains same when we process the wheat into make it as a bread. What are the changes it's going to happen? What is the process, heating process? Those things we are trying to understand. Then we are interpreting based on the conversion factor of the food material from the source to the new food.
Interesting, very interesting. It really is a huge topic and requires a lot of research, but really you've opened our eyes. Much of this information, I'm sure most of us have heard in snippets, but I think the way you presented was very nice, Doctor. It really kind of made us present once again to how to look after ourselves better. So
and we can have a different topic based on this. Ahara itself, we can take one topic to address or to talk, to discuss. There are a lot of principles explained in Ayurveda based on Ahara.
In fact, I think you could do a series on this, because I can see a lot of topics coming out of this which can guide us on wellness, overall wellness.
And also we have in the School of Ancient Wisdom under our Ayurveda hospital, we are planning to start Ayurveda retreat for wellness. It's going to be a weekend retreat. It's going to be 5 days. And also we're going to have series of lecture and understanding with our retreat team on these principles.
Wonderful. Even maybe a kind of rejuvenation package would be very nice.
Yes, sir.
Detox.
That also inclusive in that. Panchakarma, detox, rejuvenation, rasayana, everything we are going to bring as a package. Whoever comes for that program, they have to relax their body, mind. Also, they have to enrich with the knowledge of Ayurveda.
Wonderful. So I think for all of Satsangis, we should spread this message. Such a wonderful kind of facility is being developed, and it'll be offered at our school. And it's a good idea for us to make use of it. So if anybody else has any more questions, please do speak up. Any observations, anything you want to share?
Sir, we have a announcement.
Yes, Swati, please.
I'll share the poster, sir. Kumar, sir, please kindly go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's our pleasure, the team, the School of Ancient Wisdom team's pleasure to invite all the Satsangis to our Founders Day celebration on 15th July. It's on Monday. Celebration to say, because it's a Founders Day. Mom announces at Madam's founders as a founder, and we want to celebrate the day as very special day for all of us to celebrate with you all. We are happily and inviting you all to join us and to be part of a great celebration. So it start around 10:30 to say the program, and then we conclude before lunch by 12:30
by 1 p.m.
to
Yes, I'm Sajani speaking. And I'd like to say that we would like all the old Satsangis to come because they haven't come for a long time. And Mom and Easy from that divine destination will be really happy. So please do come. It would be very nice. And like earlier, we would celebrate this very beautifully. So please come and tell all the old Satsangis to
Swati.
come. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you, Sajani.
Thank you, Doctor, for your talk.
Thank you, Doctor. Actually, the last part we could not hear when myself and Sajani spoke up. At that time, your voice was breaking up. We couldn't hear what you were saying. But thank you for the invitation. And once again, the School of Ancient Wisdom, what I understand after speaking with Swati is there's been a special effort put in this time, an all-out effort. It was quite an extraordinary gathering on the Founders Day this time. They're actually getting the head of Puttaparthi Sai Baba Ashram to come over as the chief guest. So it will be quite a special experience to get his blessings as well. He's the one who took over the ashram after Puttaparthi Sai Baba left his body. So please do come over with your family and friends. It's from 10:30 in the morning all the way till 1 o'clock, followed by lunch on Monday, this coming Monday. So Kumarji, once again,
between.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Right. No, I was winding up the satsang today. We were winding up early because we have a little discussion that we have to do before to plan for the dry run.
No worry. Thank you.
Anything else that you want to say, Doctor?
No. That's all. We would like to invite all our satsangis to part of our celebration on 15th July. So it was formally we are inviting and to be part of the celebration.
Thank you.
May I please interrupt? May I ask something? Is it going to be a
Come again, please.
show it on Zoom as well?
Sorry, come again, please.
I said, is it going to be a hybrid meeting? Are you going to show it on Zoom as well?
Swati can probably answer that.
Okay,
no,
I'll
ma'am,
ask
this is
Swati
not
later.
going to be a hybrid. This is an offline event, a physical event.
Okay. All right.
Why
all
don't
the
you come, Jasmine?
I'm from Bombay.
Oh, you're in Bombay now. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
She's
Hi,
so
And-
Sajani. Good to see you.
And
Good
also,
to see you.
and also one more interesting thing about this is Swati has made a video of interesting aspects of Mahamani's life as well. And there are some unusual photographs of her from her earlier time that may be also seen. So for those, for our older satsangis also, it will be quite a treat to once again reconnect with Mahamani's and especially more importantly, her vision for the school and to also realign and to empower the school in that manner. So our satsang now comes to a close.
Is doctor is having a clinic in Bangalore?
Beg your pardon?
That Kumar is having a clinic in Bangalore city?
Yes, at the School of Ancient Wisdom itself.
Okay, thank you.
He consults at the school every day. Does that answer your question, Srinivasji? Am I audible?
Yeah, same question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Ramesh, go ahead.
Yeah. So now on that note, we should close the satsang for today. Once again, thank you so much, Kumarji. That was very knowledgeable. And also it made us more aware. It reminded us once again that health is not just about the absence of illness, but the presence of that inner balance in mind, body, and spirit, not just socially. So thank you for connecting Ayurveda once again with the intent behind all of us as seekers to live a better life and to be a better person every day that Mama here had always wanted us to do. So on this note, on a rather exciting note, because we're all looking forward now and preparing for Monday, and we really would like it if you all came and brought your friends and family along as well. So we hope to see you on Monday. And on that note, thank you so much, Kumarji, once again. And I'm really happy that Kumarji has taken this initiative to research on Ayurveda and its attendant practices to make life better for all of us, to support people to grow and become better. On that note of gratitude, let us all sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned for the Loka Samasta. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And let go. Observe the silence within, which is the language of the soul, which connects all of us, because we all belong to that same source, to one another. At this moment, remember your loved ones, those who need our prayers, and also all the different places around the world where there is strife. Let there be peace, let there be wisdom and a higher consciousness. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.